Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Ricky.
And I'm Nova, and welcome to Marriaging.
We're so happy that you're with us. You tune in tonight and you stick around to the very end of our episode.
You will
experience
incredible,
amazing,
undeniably
enlightening,
wonderful
stuff.
You and me, we got this. Gonna take some practice. Superpower oneness. We are marriaging.
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
We are marriaging.
Hey, welcome back to Marriaging. I'm Ricky.
And I'm Nova.
For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, or maybe you just recently found us, we just want to remind you what Marriaging is.
We want to inspire you to activate your oneness superpower. We want you to be able to change atmospheres, create atmospheres in your home. And when the two come together with their different strengths, something happens and they're better together. So one, you do pretty good. But when the two come together,
Unstoppable. So we want you to become more unstoppable in your marriage. Fully believe you can do it. So if you're at a place even in your marriage where you're like, man, I don't even know if we can make it there, we just want to say hang in there because you can make it there.
You absolutely can.
We're in the middle of a 3-week series.
Yes, and we are talking about love languages. We did a little intro last week about what they were, and we want to delve a little further into what love languages are. And maybe these are ones that are yours, but we're going to talk about 3 of those tonight.
Yeah, we asked you for your homework last week if you tuned in to buy this book by CHAPMAN called 5 Love Languages. And again, just to be really clear, we don't know him. We don't get any money if you buy one of his books. This has just been a tool in our life that has been amazing, and we've appreciated it.
I think it's been super helpful for actually many couples that we've met with to really understand each other and how we fill each other's emotional love tank. And so if your tank is empty tonight, listen up.
Yeah, you need to get your tank full because driving around with an empty tank is just stressful. It's super stressful.
The 5 love languages is really about how your emotional love tank gets filled and how you receive love. And so tonight we want to talk about 3 of the 5.
Yeah, Gary Chapman would say that there's 5 languages of love, right?
Yep. And these are the 5 ways that people receive love. Really, we receive all of them, and they're all really important. But there's one that is like, if I don't get this, if I don't receive this in my life, I feel depleted, I feel empty, I feel alone. And so the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. And tonight we are going to be talking about 3 of those.
Yeah, the top 3, and then next week we'll go over the other 2. Yeah, so the top 3 we're going to talk about tonight are words of affirmation, quality time, and receiving gifts.
I love that we are starting with the words of affirmation because that is your love language, like your top number 1 way to receive love.
That's right. Yeah, words of affirmation to me, they really are meaningful when they speak of my character, of who I am. When you
Not like how hot you are and stuff?
Well, those are, in the right setting.
That helps,
It's
right?
helpful. It's helpful that you're attracted to me. That's great. And I love to hear you say that. But
it would be empty if I was just like, oh, you're so hot, but then didn't say anything about who I really believe that you are and the character you have and the man that you are and how hard you work and how kind you are and what a servant you are and how much I love you.
Stuff like that. When I hear her, she knows me better than anybody in the whole planet. So when she says those things, I believe her. Now, that's also because we haven't gotten into a habit, I hope that you're not doing this with your spouse, of just kind of flattering, just saying things that hopefully will get you lucky later on that night. Those just those things that aren't really depth and they don't really mean anything. You're just kind of throwing them out there. And those are not what we're talking about here. We're talking about when you speak into somebody's heart, those words. And check it out. Words of affirmation can also be words of constructive criticism or of guidance.
Encouraging words. So it's like another dialect. And the word encouragement actually means to inspire courage in another person. And when someone has this love language or it receives their love this way, for me to inspire you to courage is I may see something in you that, because we all experience those like insecurities or things we're unsure about, or maybe gifts that you like I can see in you, but maybe you don't see in yourself. So I encourage you, I inspire you to courage in that area, and like, you know, you really grow, you know, as a person.
That's right. When you're in the receiving mode of words of affirmation, it really fills your tank. That's what it does for me. So, so that's why words of affirmation are really important. And I know for you, not necessarily your top love language, but
It might be like 3.
it's definitely top 3, because when it's your birthday or just in general, if we write words to you, you're a big writing words person, and if we write words to you, it doesn't have to be a really expensive card that we purchase, but if it's a heartfelt communication of how we see you and some things that we've seen in you, then you feel seen, and it's really it really encourages you, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, absolutely. I do think that is, like you bring up, like I'm feeling seen. I think that's what words of affirmation
acknowledgement
does. It's that acknowledgement, like I see you, and I love you. I love that thing about you. Learning to be that person who can give to somebody that their number one is like receiving that encouragement. It'll be really fun to kind of, you know, get creative and learning how to do that, because we always say, you know, become students of your spouse. So this is yet another level and another way to become a student. So the second is quality time. Quality time is not, it's not just staring into each other's eyes and just being, you know, together or being in the same room, but it's really, you're giving your undivided attention to your spouse. I think it's one of, I feel like I'm all of them sometimes when I'm like, oh yeah, I love that. But quality time is just that undivided attention that you give to one another, and it's that togetherness and full attention.
And quality time involves quality conversation. It's just not about being in the same room. And it's funny, we were having that conversation a couple of days ago in preparation for tonight, and I said, well, isn't quality time just like being, like, watching a show together? And you're like, no.
Because quality time focuses on what, you know, you're hearing. It's quality conversation, so I'm drawing out of you things that are happening in your heart, and that's quality. That's getting to a deeper level. It's like, it's if words of affirmation focuses on what we're saying, then quality time focuses on what we're hearing. What am I hearing?
We're receiving. Quality time involves quality conversation. Dr. Powell, a sociologist, and he wrote about the 5 levels of communication. And these levels of communication are really important and significant. It's kind of like a litmus test to find out how you are communicating to your spouse or to other people in general.
What level, right?
Yeah, what level.
You're communicating.
The idea is you want to be at a level 1, or you want to be at a level 2 or 3. So the top 3. So it's like in a competition. You want to be in the top 3. You don't want to be 4 or 5. And so level 5 is what they call cliche conversation. And that's literally...
It's like, oh, the weather's great today.
Yep, just meaningless conversation. Hey, what's up? How are you? Good. How are you?
Great. Right. Pleasantries. It's just pleasantries. It's all pleasantries.
It's a word that I honestly haven't heard since I spoke to my grandparents, but that's an amazing word. So it's just pleasantries.
Yeah.
For you scholars out there. The second level is reporting the facts. It's just literally, I drove home. It took me 25 minutes. I hit traffic. I picked the kids up. It's a list of facts. So cliche conversation is level 5, the worst level you can be at. Number 4 is pretty close. It's just reporting the facts, right? But then you want to start moving into 3, 2, and 1. Okay, 3 is where you actually share your opinion. So now you're sharing your opinion, okay? And that's where, you know, I picked the kids up, and man, that line was really long. And I don't think they should have that line set up like that. Okay, so now I'm sharing my opinion. Level 2 is a little bit deeper, okay, on the same lines, but a little bit deeper. Now I'm sharing my feelings. So I don't think they should have that line set up that way. And it really bothers me when Mrs. Smith leaves her car idles and goes and talks to other people. Okay, so now we're getting deeper, okay? And then level 1 is you're literally opening yourself up emotionally. You're just pouring it all out there. You're leaving it all on the table.
Yep. And it's as deep as you can get. And I think, you know, being able to be sympathetic and empathetic with one another, and being emotionally like naked with each other. That's number 1.
Love it when she says that word.
Yeah.
So that is how you're going to experience quality time, is when you have quality conversation.
I know for me personally, I really need quality conversation. I don't think it's my number 1, but like I like to just like go like deep, and I don't enjoy surfacey conversation at all. It's the idea of like really going deep with your spouse and being emotionally connected, and that will fill your emotional love tank if you're a quality time person. Just want time with you, and I want to be able to connect with you in a deep way. Then you're a quality time and quality conversation person.
Yep.
Third love language that we want to talk about tonight is receiving gifts. And you have to spend a lot of money when you have this, and that's just what it is. I'm just kidding.
So you want to choose people who this is not their love language.
Oh my goodness.
It's not really high on either of our radar.
But I will definitely take a gift. Which is, no, receiving gifts is really the idea that you were. If I'm that person, I'm like, oh, you thought about me, and that is beautiful. I mean, that's really all of these. We all have a level of. We love all of this, but if I don't, for some people, if I don't receive gifts, I don't feel like people think of me.
Or I don't feel loved.
Or I don't feel loved. I don't think my husband loves me because he doesn't think of me, right?
Folks that have this as their love language, receiving gifts the gift actually is really important.
If you're married to somebody who loves to receive gifts, you get pay attention.
and save some money.
Save some money.
And cut coupons.
No, gifts don't have to be expensive. They can be the littlest things. And one of the things I mentioned in this book, which is, I mean, I think it's legit, but it's the gift of self. It's like, for some people, no, hear me out. I mean, because I was like, I feel like, not that I'm critiquing his book, but I was like, oh, okay, like the gift of self. But the gift of self would be like, hey, if you loved golfing, I'd be like, hey, you know what? I will be available to go to any kind of golf thing that you want to go to, and I will be available for you, and that's my gift to you, however you want to spend the day. And so that in itself could be, so that's the gift of self. So if you have no money at all, a gift of self.
You get me.
It's a good one, right?
Happy birthday, you get me. Oh, you get a bow and just put a bow and wrapping paper.
I mean,
that'd be pretty hot actually if you wrapped yourself up and then I unwrapped you on my birthday.
Gift of self, I like it. Maybe for Father's Day. It's coming up.
Hey, by the way, happy Father's Day, dads. That's this weekend. So the three love languages that we discussed tonight are
words of affirmation, quality time, and receiving gifts.
Okay, so now we have a homework assignment for each one of those, depending on where you are. And so therefore, in our program, it's homework time.
Homework time.
Homework time.
We're doing some homework. It's homework time.
Okay, homework time.
Homework time.
Homework time.
Okay, so I think we're going to do three different kinds of homework there's homework for each of the
love languages. Yep.
So if you are married to a person receives the words of affirmation, then this would be your homework.
Yeah, so if you receive love language, if your top love language is that words of affirmation or your spouse, then somebody has an assignment.
Yeah, somebody has an assignment. I don't know. One of you does.
Yep.
So this would be the assignments. Maybe set a 1-month goal. Give a different compliment or word of encouragement to spur you on to be courageous each day for 30 days. So that's a big homework.
Yeah,
assignment.
30-day challenge.
30-day challenge, yeah.
So next week when we meet with you, you're going to have 7 of them completed.
Yeah.
And you got to just start making stuff up. If it's that bad, like you choose really pretty necklaces. That's a good one, right? But listen, you can find 30 amazing things about your spouse.
Yeah.
And then you just write it down. And you could even do this on a sticky note and put it on the mirror. You can just write it in a card. You can tell them. There's lots of ways to do it. So
yeah, you can definitely tell them. And then you could actually keep that list going at the end of 30 days, like read them all out loud and present it. That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
do that.
30
days.
Like
we're working it out as
we're kind of working it out. Yeah, we're massaging it a bit. Homework for quality time is, first and foremost, you have to start with time. If you don't schedule time, it's not gonna just magically happen. What we're gonna say is at least twice before next Friday night. So 2 times, and it can be in the evenings, morning, afternoon, whatever works for your schedule. You don't have kids around, you don't have your phones, there's no distraction, and you can set as much time as you think you need, but you're gonna put quality time on the calendar, okay? And then in that quality time, you're gonna have quality conversation.
you're asking questions where you're listening for the emotion and how the other person is feeling. So if you're quality time and you're having a quality conversation, you are listening for feelings. So, and then you're saying something. So it sounds like you're feeling such and such. So you're really engaging and you're moving into that like peak conversation that you talked about. You're listening for the other person's feelings. So if, like, let's say an event happened that day, so you're now putting yourself in the position to ask the questions of like, here's the event, but how did you feel about the event? Not just like the event happened, but we're getting to the deeper
peak
feelings,
communication.
The peak communication. Yeah.
So you're like literally opening yourself up. And here's what the struggle in some marriages with communication is. You heard Nova speak about this earlier, is there's vulnerability involved, and there's always transparency. Typically that's like the pop culture word.
Kind of a buzzword right now.
But transparency is just honest with you, right? But vulnerability is me sharing things with you that you can use against me, things that you can hurt me with.
Potentially could hurt you. Yeah.
And that's, you have to open yourself up to do that.
If you're a person who receives that kind of love, then that's going to be really important to exercise.
So the third love language is receiving gifts, and our homework for those of you who resonate with this love language is this.
I think the first thing you could do, just if you have a spouse that receives love that way, is start a gift giving journal where if you hear them say, oh, I love that, just kind of keep a journal of things, so that like if you're a bad gift giver and you're married to somebody who really loves gifts, like, and you're like, oh shoot, what do I get? You know, you can go back to your list and go, oh yeah, that's right, they said that.
I have a trick actually. So we've been places and just looking at window shopping or whatever, and she goes, oh, that's amazing, I love that. And when she walks away, take a picture. Take a picture of the price tag, of the actual gift, and then you can keep it in a folder. You don't even have to type anything. It's just right there.
So good.
Right? Let's set the budget at $25 for 7 days. That's reasonable. Now you can spend more. You have to be creative if you don't have a lot of money. So take $25, split it up within a week, and then see, maybe it's every other day there's a special gift. Maybe it's a gift a day, right? And you only have 25 bucks, so you got to make that like pretty special.
Could be something like, you know, Starbucks costs $5, but it could be like you sneak out of the house early and bring favorite drink with a love note, and there's like, that's a gift. It's like, oh, you were thinking of me. Oh.
Yeah, or Tic Tacs. I know she loves Tic Tacs, but then you got to be careful because it could be like, oh, my breath's really bad.
Oh my goodness. Things that make the other person feel like you're thinking of me.
All these love languages, okay, it's all about, as Nova made reference earlier, being a student of your spouse. You're literally going to school. This is education, and it's fun education.
And the truth is, like, you know, filling each other's emotional tank. The truth is, when I look at you, I'm like, I don't want an empty husband. Like, I want a husband who's full, and so I need to know how you operate and what fills you up. And to me, like, that's kind of exciting. You want to live life and do life with people that are filled up, and if you can participate in that and partner, that is cause for celebration.
So go celebrate each other, go study each other, go love each other really well. And here are 3 ways that you can practice loving each other. So I know sometimes you hear that stuff and you're like, what do? We just gave you 3 ways that you can practice love toward each other.
Anything that we talked about tonight wasn't your first, you know, way that you receive love. There's always next week, because we're going to be talking about acts of service and physical touch.
My favorite.
My favorite too. But guess which one is my favorite?
Physical touch.
His favorite.
Of course. You want to come back next week to get the full list, right? You want to pick up the book so you have a tool, and you want to start putting some of these things into practice. And we are on your side. We're in your corner. We're cheering for you.
We're on your team, and we want a marriage with you. Because marriage isn't just like I got married one day and it's you sign the document and you're done. It's the ing in marriage. It's this continual process of becoming and growing together, because a marriage that isn't growing is dying. Have a great week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Enjoy your week, and happy Father's Day to all you dads.
Yeah.
Enjoy grilling food for your whole family on your special day.
Happy Father's Day weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We are marriaging.